Sorry, guys, I ran out of time again. One day I'll learn how to splice these things and put it all seamlessly together, but it ain't happening today. But anyway, brought up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, we were taught to love Jehovah with our whole heart, our whole soul, and whatever. And then in other religions, they interpret they're supposed to love Jesus with their whole heart, their whole soul, and whatever. But so anyway, that's why I think that's why the scriptures say there's going to be a huge deception where even the elect will be deceived. And I think the reason why that was put in there is to perhaps alert us that there is more than one God. There has been dueling stories all the way through. And now as I look in the book of Revelation, and then the words of Christ, yes, there's going to be all kinds of crazy things coming. But then it also puts in there that Christ is coming back to save us. Jesus is going to come back to save us. And see, that's what the play of the names come in to keep us confused. Because when I say Jesus, Yeshua, I know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Christ, the one who came down and alerted us to all of this. The one that told us the Christ is right here. The Christ is within you. So when I leave and they say that somebody coming back to save you, the Christ is here and the Christ is there. No. That's the Jesus Christ, or the Christ Jesus, or the Christ, why I call him that now, the Christ. That's who I'm talking about. Now, this other Jesus in the Bible, I'm not so sure about it. I'm still dissecting everything that this other person says. It's just obvious to me there's more than one if you really dig deep. Take your blinders off. Stop believing what has been ingrained in your head over and over and over again. Look at those scriptures again, critically, and realize that this is not all it is. There's been so many books of the Bible that were purposefully taken out, not including the Apocrypha. And also keeping in mind about all the other ancient writings that mirror this, that predate this. How does that happen? How does that happen? How do we find these records, these stories etched in stone about the creation, about, and I've said this before, if you critically think about this, something should stir in you. If you really are a truth seeker, searcher, something should stir. And I don't mean this in a mean way, guys, when I say that, but I know that a lot of you, my sister included, I love you, my dear sister, my fleshly sister, but my sister is the type of person, she has been her whole life, that if she can't see it, if she can't hear it, it doesn't exist. Don't mess with my world. I like my world the way it is. I like my belief system the way it is. If it's wrong, it's wrong. My mama was this, my daddy was that. Back from... Some people are like that. And I guess this video is to... I love all of you. I love all of my brothers and sisters. But I'm thinking that maybe part of my task was to do this little silly journey of mine that has lasted this last year. And if you guys go back and watch from the very beginning all the way through, if you can stomach it, you can see it, everywhere I've been. And I know a lot of you will say that, wow, you started out, being delivered from Jesus, and now you're questioning him. And no, I'm not. I know that I was awakened. Do I still have some doubt about that voice? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Because what I'm learning is the enemy is around us all the time. And he's constantly trying to find a way in. And what I was trying to say is, yes, I know that I was awakened by my Father. But could there be a small sliver where the enemy could have slipped in to try and infiltrate if he could? Absolutely. I don't put nothing past him. But who do I... I know who I am now. Anyway, let me get back to this whole alien thing, and prophecy. Because I'm looking at different things again. I'm looking at the ancient Sumerian texts. I'm watching NASA, what's happening in our skies. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but I watch everything. I listen to the news. I listen to what the conspiracy theorists are saying, the ones they said that are nut jobs. You don't listen to them. I listen to them. I listen to the scholars and what they say. I listen to Joe Smo down the street. I'm looking at what prophecy says. I'm looking at the Nostradamus Coltrane. Not believing in any one thing, but looking at all of it. And again, using that inner light, that discernment. But what I'm thinking is happening, if I told you guys about the little video clip thing I had, with the current climate, things are climaxing right now. And what I think is going to happen is there is going to be a, quote, alien invasion. And I think it's going to be some type of alien creatures that are black-skinned, saying they're here for their people. Yah's people. Jehovah. And again, I really believe in my core that there's something about people of color. There's something about those 12 tribes. I don't know if it's something to do with Yah, Jehovah, and his mindset. Or is it that the original creation by the Elohim, were they originally people of color? And perhaps, or let's put it this way, originally Let me change that. That just kind of popped into my head. Okay, so what if when Elohim created us spirit creatures, I don't know what we looked like because there was no description. And there was no description either when the second creation story happened. So that blows that out of the water. Because according to the Elohim, we were created in their image, male and female. He created them. I don't know. It's a lot to wrap your head around. And it's very complicated and complex. I wish I could just open my head so you guys can see what I'm thinking, all the information I've been taking in, and I'm trying to piece it together, to be able to get it out of my mouth. And again, I've tried to share with you guys other YouTubers that can articulate what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to take a stab at it anyway. So what I think is going to happen is there's going to be this landing, and it's going to be black people, the Hebrew Israelites and African Americans and people of color. Wow, Jehovah is here. Yah is here for his people, just like he promised in the scriptures. Is that a true prophecy or a false prophecy? That's what I'm talking about. How can we be sure? Because again, some scriptures say that Jesus is coming back for us to take charge and tear some ass up. But then the Christ says, if they say that I'm here or there, don't believe them. You see what I'm talking about? I'm talking about there's a difference again. There's mixed messages. Who are you going to believe? So what if this big black spaceship arrives? Every eye will see it. And they perform. Number one, they come out black and beautiful and say, there are my peoples. And then they perform all these miracles, fabulous things. But they're only going to take their people. The chosen people. Are you going to get on that spaceship? Monica, not. Not me. Would I be excited to see big, beautiful, fabulous black people arriving in royalty like Wakanda? Don't you think that's coincidental too? The Black Panther movie coming out so big. Man, saw me with my dots the other day. Wakanda forever. I love that story. So do many of all of us. And if you think about it, it kind of coincides. And a lot of people said that. Do you see the prophecy? I saw it too. But the question is, to the elect, is that true prophecy or false prophecy? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's the stuff I think about. That's thinking outside of the box. The scriptures also tell us the road is narrow and cramped. And there's a whole nother meaning to that too, because I'm thinking that other road, I think that scripture is talking about is our whole chakra system. That's the road, and that's how we get to that inner light, through our chakras, because we're spirit beings. And a lot of people, early on, someone was telling me about your pineal gland and, and all of that. And I became interested in that briefly, but then I got a lot of bombardment, and it's like, oh, you don't want to do that, blah, 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 blah. But the more I'm learning of emptying everything out of my cup and looking at everything critically thinking, there is something to this pineal gland. Why do you think, and again in the scriptures, think about it, guys. In the scriptures, it tells us to stay away from astrology, stay away from horoscopes and all of that stuff. Stay away from that. And I was scared to death of it growing up as Jehovah's Witnesses. But when you look at all the names of the planets, then you start looking at the ancient writings, the ancient Sumerian writings, and if you look in the Apocrypha, it's all connected. And I really believe we were told to stay away from astrology and all of that because we would be able to unlock the truth then about who we are. Everything has been orchestrated to a T. There's a battle going on, guys. A battle. So, anyway, man, I've been sitting here for a long time. I'm going to head on out. It's getting ready to, the sun is going down. It's so beautiful here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But this is where I hang out. Can you see the water over there? This is where I live. Cool beans, man. But anyway, till next time, I know y'all think I'm crazy, but you know what? This is my journey. There's a lot of people who've been watching me on my journey, giving me your feedback and whatever. And just follow my journey. I am Monica. Peace, love, and light, my babies.